touch the phone. Welcome everybody to the X-Ring.
What is up? We had someone that hit the live button a little too early, so we can blame them for that. So stay tuned while we get this thing clipped in. I know we're a couple minutes early, but we were having technical difficulties. You know, I think
Train wreck.
I think you did that on purpose.
No, I bullshit.
But anyway, thanks for joining in. I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some things with regards to PRS and long range shooting, and then what we'll do is we will go into some new products. I've got some really cool things. You guys can see them here on the wall. For those that have already ordered the BADMF, what we're gonna have to do is go over here. Let me see if I can get over to the channel. Give me just a moment, because like I said, we started just a little too early. Give me just a second. Make sure I can read the comments here.
If an entire planet
Okay, that's
of
not gonna work.
scientists agreed that
All right, so now I should be able to read your comments. James Smith, thanks for the email earlier. I'm glad you got your bag. He actually sent me some photos. And yeah, James Smith says he got his BADMF today. He actually sent me some photos, and we have Eagle Eye shooting on here. 2 left. Grab them now. No, there's quite a few. There's a huge box over here. And I wanted to let everyone know that we are, hold on while we get the camera plugged in. Give it just a second. I do want to tell every one of you, I do appreciate you guys supporting me in the channel and also this new product. You should have already received it if you have placed your order. We shipped out a ton of them last week. We continue to ship them every day. Why do I need this bag more than anything else? Rustar, we're going to get into it. Like I said, I'm not trying to sell you the bag. I'm just trying to keep you updated on what's going on with the bag and what features it offers. Hey Sam, can we move that a little closer? Sure. Might have to go around that post. Hold on for just a second. All right, there we go. All right, so before we get started, what I want to do, you guys know Rick from Is Your Six Covered. You guys remember Rick when he first started, the very first time he ever pulled the trigger on a long-range rifle was out at Clinton House, and that was, correct, what, 2 years ago?
I think 3 now.
Three years ago?
Yeah.
So about 3 years ago, and that was a 6.5 Creedmoor. And since that time, you have basically morphed into really
Turn this down.
doing a ton of long-range shooting.
Actually, I think it's my favorite now. I had a chance to do quite a bit of different pistol stuff, 3-gun, and I think my true calling is long range. So
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it the most.
And you grew up doing a lot of shotgun competition. You've actually got quite a few trophies over there. Then you got into pistols.
Yep. Pistols, and then I
Did some
morphed
3-gun,
into
did some USPSA, but it was fun, but it never really grabbed you like long range.
Yeah, I think long range, there's just so much. It's like, it's a guy that goes out and fishes conventionally, and then there's a guy that goes fly fishing. A lot more technical. That's what I seem to enjoy most about the long range.
Gotcha. Yeah, so what are you shooting now? What's that latest creation you have right there?
The one on top,
Yeah.
that's a 6 Creedmoor built by Desert Precision Gunworks, and it's an awesome rifle. It's got a MDT chassis and Curtis Custom Action Axiom.
Nice.
So it's a great rifle.
All right, guys, so we already have quite a few people in here, 67. If I can get 75 people in here, I'm going to give away an X-Ring hat. You guys know that I don't sell these hats. I only give them away. I've never taken a penny for one yet, I don't believe. So if we get 75 Skittles, puke is what it is, what Ramsey Country says. So what I'll do is I'll do that, and then I'm gonna aim for the stars tonight. If we get up to 150, then I'll give away that other X-Ring hat right here. And the back of this one has an American flag on it. The back of that one says
hashtag
still a dick. Hashtag still a dick. All right, what's up, Otter? So getting a lot of familiar people in here. Let's see here. I'm trying to keep up with everything that's going on. Can you guys actually hear the audio pretty well? Because we never got the mic connected or anything. When we were trying to move the phone, it actually hit live while we were trying to go over to the computer. So anyway, I told him. Sam's like, it was me.
Yeah, Sam hears us just fine.
All right, so audio is good, and like I said, we're piggybacking off of his Wi-Fi right now, so this is probably one of the better ones. Let's see here, how many people we got in here? 69 people. All right,
Get
so
there.
what we'll do is that 75 people, I'll get 71. When we get 75 people in here, what I'll do is I'll ask a question. I've only ever given the answer to this one time.
I don't even know the answer to this one.
Yeah, he doesn't know it, but if someone gets the answer, then I'll give it away. If no one gets it, then we'll get to a different answer. All right, I tell you what, let's go ahead and get those likes up if we can before I start introducing all these products here. They're really cool. Let's see. What's up, Mark? How are you doing, sir? All right, so
Good evening, Mark.
so basically, you guys know if you followed the channel, you know, my background was that I really got into long range a long time ago. I was shooting the 308, and then I got into it for work and loved it. It was great. Let's see. I want a bag, dang it. That's what Paulie says. All right, so let me go ahead and clarify this. If you ordered a Coyote bag only and nothing else, you should have already received your email. By this time, you should have already received the bag. And there was quite a few that were shipped out. Now, if you ordered the Coyote bag and a Kestrel pouch, you have either gotten an email or you are getting your email. Sam, do you mind handing me those Kestrel pouches? So, for the Kestrel pouch, you guys have seen what it looks like. It looks just like this. It has Velcro on the back side, and it is lined with tegris on the front and tegris on the rear. There is no tegris on the bottom, and it fits perfectly for a Kestrel, just like this. So you're going to have impact protection up front and in the rear. On the back, we did leave half-inch gaps, so if you have the Velcro that is supplied, oh, we have 75. All right, we'll get to that question here in just a minute.
77.
So if you have the half-inch Velcro, they call it a one wrap by Velcro brand, you can actually slide it through here and you can attach this to your tripod legs. I think Rick actually might have some of those straps, the one
do.
straps that go over.
You want to
And so
do it?
each one, if you have one, that'd be great. Can I have that big bag? So guys, I put 38 in inventory. These just got finished up today. Once again, these are
It's on my
100%
bag,
made in the USA, here locally in Western North Carolina,
Hey.
supporting USA jobs, and everything is mil spec on this as well. Guys, just saying mil spec is one thing, but actually to have the
Might be over
product
there,
where it
too.
is mil spec, what that means is it has passed all the tests required by the military for everything from UV resistance, longevity, you name it. So I'm glad I could bring that to you guys. So we're getting the question here in just a second. He's looking, are you looking for your, all right, here we go. So what other people call these are cord keepers. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these. A lot of people will see them in black, but we've ordered these for them as well. And what we'll do is you feed this through, and once you feed it through the back, what this will do is it will secure it from being able to come off of your tripod. So the price on these, originally the price was going to be a little higher, and I started looking at it on how to save you guys money as best I could. The price on these is $23.99. And I'm going to kind of challenge you guys to find a good Kestrel pouch that's any cheaper, because the average price on one is about $35 or so. So I'm trying to pass that on to you guys. I actually owe one of you guys a little bit of a refund because we weren't expecting someone to order this by itself, okay? And if you do, that's fine, but we weren't set up for it for the standard flat rate shipping, so it overcharged you. You know who you were, and what I'll do is I'll refund you the difference on that, and I will drop the price on this if you order this by itself. So that's that. All right, so we are at 93 viewers. So the first question, and it has nothing to do with shooting, and this is the one with the American flag on the back. It does have
Let 'em pick,
the
though.
wider emblem.
First winner gets to pick.
Yeah, okay, first winner gets to pick, because I don't know if anybody's going to get this. All right, so here we
That's
go.
a tough one.
I don't need the year, but what's the exact make and model of the motorcycle I ride? Does anyone know? This will be a good one. You'll have to earn this, because I've only mentioned it one time on the channel. Shibalseki says, let me buy a hat. It is a KTM. It's not a BMW, it's a KTM, but I need the exact model. So now guys are going to be looking online, they're going to be going through all the models and everything
Mike
else.
says KTM 450.
Who said that?
Mike
Right
D.
there, Mike D.
All right, Mike D. All right, you are the, didn't Mike D just win something? I'm not sure.
STI Mike or something like
Okay, you actually won the hat, so what I need you to do is email me at thexringchannel@gmail.com, thexringchannel@gmail.com. just put your address on there and I'll ship this out tomorrow. And congratulations for winning the hat with the American flag on the
I'll
back.
give him the option.
Nope, it's one he wins. He doesn't get the hashtag still a dick.
All right.
So I need you to
Sorry,
say
Mike.
that so much. So my pleasure to do that for you guys. And like I said, it's been a fun road for the last 3 years.
And we're at 97.
Now, so we'll just keep going. We're going to keep talking before I introduce the multicam and all this other stuff, because there's a lot of stuff I want to go into on it. What is the biggest thing that you learned about PRS as far as something that if somebody was wanting to get into PRS, what is the biggest advice you could give them, or the best advice?
Getting into PRS.
Into PRS, not just long range shooting in particular, but
Okay, PRS style
Yep.
shooting. Is practice, and more practice positional shooting.
yeah,
And
buy good glass. All
that
right.
is very important. That was one of the first things I learned going into long range shooting was everything that I had purchased up until a few years ago was just crap glass.
Absolutely crap
I mean,
glass.
it was horrible. But I didn't know anything about
You
what
don't
real
know what
nice.
you don't know.
That's right. Well, real glass, actually, the benefits of shooting out of a good reticle and a good glass.
So your optic of choice, and we can look up here and see, you've got Vortex Razor HD, Vortex Razor HD. And I hear a lot of people that basically talk bad about Vortex. They're like, oh, it has a lifetime warranty, but you need it because you're going to use it and blah, blah, blah. Have you ever had any issues with Vortex?
Not one. I'm a true Vortex fan for sure.
Okay.
They're a little bit heavier on the HDs than say like Night Force and stuff like that, but it's a rifle. It doesn't matter the weight. You know
Okay.
what I mean that those little tiny little bit of ounces can be shaved somewhere else.
Yeah, so that's a really good point because guys, you guys know that I shoot a lot of Night Force, 4 to 16s, 7 to 35s. I love the Night Force products, but I'm not going to lie to you. I don't care who you are; it gets very expensive when you're paying $3,500 plus or so for a Night Force, let's say 7 to 35. You guys also know that I review a lot of different optics on the channel, everything from the Primary Arms Platinum series to the Burris XTR2s and 3s. And I'll tell you, I've owned a lot of the Vortex Razor HDs, the 4.5 to 27. I hear a lot of people complain about the weight. But the thing is, you don't want a really light rifle when you're shooting PRS. Most of the rifles are going to be around 20 pounds if you're getting into it seriously. Can you go out there with a Christensen MPR with a setup that weighs 12, 13 pounds? You can.
You can. You won't
But
spot your shots probably.
it's going to be a lot harder to spot your shots because of the recoil, regardless of the caliber. Rustar says, rifles come and go, but my Vortex are staying. Yeah,
There you go.
and you
Great.
cannot beat that warranty. Like I said, I've only had one issue with a Vortex ever, and it was my fault. San Miguel says a light rifle will bounce, and that is absolutely correct. If you guys have ever seen the review of the Christensen MPR, and big shout out to WTF SoCal for that rifle, it literally bounces off of the bipods. So you can imagine being on a barricade and firing, and unless you have your hand over the top of it, even so, you're trying to fight that recoil, and that might not be the best position, even with a good muzzle brake.
But I think a lot of people, they don't know what they want when they're buying a rifle,
Correct.
or they're trying to do two things at once.
Yep.
If you're going for a light hunting rifle that you're going to be packing through the mountains for
Yep.
12 miles, finding that big bull elk or whatever, something lighter is better. But
Mark Annadale says, nothing wrong with Vortex HD. Took me a long time to say that. I'm a Night Force guy too, and that's true. But Todd Gansel also responds, Night Force has virtually no warranty without fighting with them tooth and nail. Vortex, no questions asked. And that is a very, very true statement. He is 100% correct. But that being said,
there's 3 back there.
I need to knock on some wood. I have never, ever had a problem with a Night Force optic, ever. I've never had a problem with tracking. The only time that I've had an issue was on the brand new Digiloom, and that's something that I wouldn't consider was a failure to the optic. Basically, it had a bad contact in it, so you had to play around with the battery, but what would happen is you could turn it on, but it would not turn off manually. You had to let it time out to turn off.
Oh, wow.
So it still worked. It was no issue. As a matter of fact, I never even sent it back. DW says, Sean Davis, I brought 5 primary arm scopes. Guess I live in a cheaper dimension, parallax, than you do. Yeah, Eric Hunter says, I prefer a heavy rifle even for hunting. And Athlon, I'm hearing a lot of good things about Athlon and Arkin. And, you know, I have a friend, Chris Way. I don't know if you guys follow him. He is actually competing in the Assassin's Way coming up. It's
That's gonna be
it's
crazy.
pretty much an adventure race with a $25,000 entry fee, but I think it has like a $500,000 purse. So
Yes,
he has a
25,000.
channel called Craft, and he is actually doing a lot of scope testing right now. Right now, he's using a Night Force 7 to 35. He is using the Leupold Mark V. He's using the Collis, and he's also using the Zero Compromise. For the last 5 days, he has been in 0-degree weather. 0-degree. He actually sent me a video today where he was in a little ice cave, and they have been doing everything from digging in the snow with them to fogging them up by packing them with snow and seeing how far they clear, what the knobs feel like, and he's actually taking it out to the desert next week. So I don't know what happened to the video there. There we go. So
That sounds like an.
he says,
really
next
good
question, next question. We're at 103. No next question.
No next question.
We'll get the next question in just a bit. Yeah, Vincent Mayer, the Leupold Mark V, you guys know that won the military contract, a lifetime warranty, never a problem. I've had quite a few problems with Leupolds, especially when you take the power ring. And this was on the Mark VI and the Mark VIII, going from full power all the way down to minimum power. When you get down to right where it stops, you will notice the reticle on these, they shifted. And I actually brought it to the attention of a Leupold rep that happened to be at a shooting event that I was at, and he's like, that is not normal, you need to send it back. And I said, well, I've got the problem on 2 of them. I also had a Leupold Mark VI 1 to 6 that actually fogged up on the inside, and it was only about 1.5 years old. So they will stand behind it. They do have a great lifetime warranty, and it's one of the few manufacturers that's still made in the USA. So good things. All right, so have you guys used anything from ZCO? No, Scribble, and that's why I've been talking to Chris about it. Chris told me that the Zero Compromise, you guys know that it's made in Austria. It has a great reticle. But
a price tag,
you're in
too.
that price tag
Yeah.
of a Leupold, or excuse me, of a Night Force, you know, about a 7 to 35, because it's about $3,600. Yeah, Shibalseki, the Mark VI 1 to 6, this actually happened with myself and Matt. Rick got to see it as well, but internally it fogged up. So, and Rustar says, I have 3 Leopolds that just quit adjusting, and I will tell you, Sam's over here, you guys can't see him off camera. The last long range class I was teaching, we had a guy that bought it was about a $2,400 Leupold scope. I don't recall exactly which model, but his tracking stopped working right out of the box. We actually set it up in the class for him, and we got him on the paper at 100 yards. He went out to 500, and then nothing happened on the inside. I mean, we tapped on it, everything else, thinking that it was a frozen erector, but it froze up. He had to send it back. He was not happy. So anyway,
I don't blame them.
what's something else we can talk about before we start going into all of this other stuff with X-Ring Customs?
We can talk about long range. We got a couple matches coming up.
Yeah. So the next match we're getting ready to shoot is actually,
January 23rd.
yeah, I'm reading Conservative Sniper Hunter's comment. I think that's a great comment. Let me address that in just a minute. The next match we're shooting is the NRL 22X match down in Yemassee, South Carolina. It is a precision rimfire match. Guys, if you have not done precision rimfire, because I actually balked at it when I first thought about it, and I was like, I'm not going to do that.
did.
And both
What
of
else
us,
did you say?
I said I would never do PRS. Sometimes we have to eat that crow, you know?
Yeah.
But what we did is we both bought Ruger RPRs, the precision rimfires, and we were having fun with it. It was very inexpensive. And we saw the light. We shot a couple matches, and the next thing we know, I was able to finish, 3rd place. Then when another one got 3rd place, and I was like, man, I'm really enjoying this. It is just as difficult as regular PRS.
Well, what's even
Or
better,
more
it's more
difficult.
more dialing.
Yeah, you're going to dial a whole lot more. And this is a topic I did want to talk about tonight.
Did or didn't?
And I wanted to, because some people ask, holdover versus dialing.
What are we hitting?
You need to be proficient at both. It is very important to be proficient at both, because in some of these matches, they might have a stage. This actually happened 2 matches ago, where they said you are not allowed to touch your dials, okay? From the moment go, you had to do holdovers. They required you to do that. So you need to be familiar with that reticle and how it works. Any of those that had a duplex
and
reticle.
you need to have a reticle that's got some
Correct.
type of.
If you just have a standard crosshair reticle and the match director has a stage that does that, you're screwed. You're just guessing. You're going to take zeros on everything.
Or get really lucky, one of the two.
Talking Rock, Rick is going to send his rifle to Lapua for testing.
I got two
However,
matches
there's
right
not
now.
enough time, so he's
Yeah.
going to send it after
After the matches.
February 3rd match, I believe it is. All right, JW will holler at you later on. X-Ring, do you think the reticle and the scope could shift slightly if one put downward pressure on it like many shooters do in PRS? Conservative sniper hunter, I'm going to say absolutely not. I think you're not going to be able to put enough force on that. You know, guys actually pick their scopes, their rifles up by the objective. I don't recommend doing that, especially if a 20-pound scope. But if you're running a solid scope, you know, like a Night Force or a Vortex or something like that, your tube diameter is going to be enough that you're not going to put enough just by pushing down on it to influence the reticle. Okay, that's my personal opinion. I don't think you have enough length or leverage to do that. I'm sure you could force it, but you know, if you could just see it and just push on it, just look at the gap and see if you're influencing it any at all. All right, so
Yeah, that'd be tough to do.
here we go. Let's talk about. We've got 122 people in here.
How many did it take to get to the next hat?
We're gonna do 150 for the next hat.
Oh, gosh.
There is the multicam, and I need to hear your comments. I don't know if the lighting's right, but that's the multicam in the BADMF. This is true mil-spec material. Everything is oriented the right way. The first run, they actually had it vertically, so we had a little setback on that. I was like, nope, that's not going to fly, because you don't normally run multicam this way. It's normally horizontal. So I'm hoping you guys like this, because at this point, they're being made. I like multicam more than the Coyote.
Let me see. I'll give it to him.
All right, it says, Scribble says he's glad he went with the multicam. Multicam looks good. That is darn sexy. Now, why did that put a woman on there? Well, I don't know what you're talking about. That was pick what? Oh, we're just showing you the bag right now. All right, so I'm going to take it back for just a moment because I have more in here that you guys have not seen. These are the finished products on the inside. So whenever you do purchase a bag, whether it's the Coyote or the Multicam, you are going to get 8 of the bullet holders. These are 15 round holders, and it looks like this. And it's not flimsy, it has the Tegris on here. It will hold 120 rounds in the bag. Now, guys, even at your biggest PRS matches, you're not going to need to go out on stage or on course with 120 rounds in your bag. Of 6.5 Creedmoor or 308, that's going to be about a 10-pound bag. Yeah. Typically, you're going to need to have enough to shoot for the day. So let's say you take 60 or 70 rounds just to be safe. John Kreiderman, we are going to offer black, but at a much later date. Right now, they're still running Coyote. These are just now being manufactured, and they're being made every single day. It is a slow process, I will tell you. They had to actually buy some new equipment because it was this material is, anybody that's bought one will tell you, this is a very rugged construction, okay? It's smaller than you think it is, but it is very well built. I don't know if you saw in the close-ups, but everything is double stitched and in some case triple stitched, and it does have that Tegris line on the back, on the top, and on the front. So if you go out there with 60 rounds, thanks, I appreciate it, Andrew. Don't go black, it will look like a suicide bomb vest. I hear you. So for those that have already taken delivery, you know that we gave you 4 data cards, and I actually wrote on there, big thanks from myself and Sam. And if some of you, we didn't have them in time for all of you, but if you keep searching in the pouch, you'll probably find some alcohol swabs inside of there. We did put those in a lot of the bags. All of them didn't get them though. So we've got 4 data cards. So that's going to be enough to get you through 4 stages before you have to end up wiping that off. Now, we added that at no cost to you guys, just something for us to do. We will include that with all of the pre-orders that came in. So you'll automatically get 4. We will sell them separately as well. Eagle Eye says, need to load enough ammo to fill the pouches. Found 2 alcohol pads also. Congrats, at least you found it. I was actually going to do a little Easter egg thing, and
You find them 6
I
years
was actually gonna put congrats, kind of like the Willy Wonka, and whoever got the lucky one was actually going to win something really, really nice. Maybe I'll think of that in the future or something. I don't know.
Camera's gonna be the same price as.
Yeah, the Coyote is going to be the same price as the Multicam. However, this can never be shipped overseas, okay, because of the Multicam that's on here. But what I want to show you guys is this is the Rimfire pouch, okay? So what you've got here are 4 different size boxes. We've got Lapua, and I've got it so that they don't slide out really easily. We've got CCI, we've got Ely 10X, and I'm trying to do this holding it towards the camera, and I also have some Federal Match. So this will hold 200 rounds of your favorite rimfire. Oh, you weren't supposed to see that part. So that is going to be an optional accessory that we'll be offering really soon. This is the finished product on it. And guys, they're not going to come out of here. You actually have to use some force to get them out, but that's a way for you to carry 200 rounds, which is more than you're going to see at most rimfire matches that you go to. All right, here we go. Now, there it is. That is the magazine holder. Here we have the 10 round AICS Magpul mag. And then here I actually have a 15 round Voodoo all aluminum mag. You guys see that? And so this insert here will allow you, and I had all of this stuff in the bag. I had the ammunition, I had the rimfire ammunition, it was all closed up. But it gives you a way to work out of a location that has everything you need. It's going to have your center fire, if you're shooting center fire, and then your rifle mags.
That's the first time I've seen it right now.
Yeah, he's never seen this. This was brand new, hot off the press. Will 6.5 PRC mags fit? They should, because the way that we've designed it, it has a lot of expansion to it. You don't have a 6.5 PRC. You don't have anything that long. How about 300 Win Mag or anything like that? Should have stayed at my house. No, it should work because there's a lot of expansion to this. This is not the AR holder, okay? C comment about suggestion of gray. Don't know if I can do gray. I know that they have gray material, but it has to be a true mil-spec product. Yeah, the AXMC mag San Miguel, they will fit in here as well. I actually use the AX, well, it's the AIXC or it's the AX, the Arctic Warfare magazines. They'll work in here. Now, there is one thing, there is one caveat I want to tell you. The 10 round mags sit right flush with the top, so you're going to have to push it up from the bottom in order to get the Accuracy International mag out. That's the magazine I use, but this is the most common magazine is the AICS, about this length. Please do a bag for hunting. How much is the BADMF? CJ Johnson, they are on my website. It's probably out of stock. Remember, I'm trying to get everybody that's on the pre-list order, I'm trying to get them their bags first, and I don't want anyone to get missed. So if you ordered a Coyote with a Kestrel pouch, you will be getting an email, or you've already gotten an email, because I'm taking delivery of these every day. These will actually get shipped out tomorrow. These are all spoken for. For those that have already received theirs, you know we wrap them in plastic, they go into the box, and we're just doing flat rate shipping to make it fair to everyone. I lose money in California and out west. Believe it or not, it's where I ship most of these, and then we actually make like $1 or $2 on the East Coast. So it's just flat rate shipping.
So you're gonna take all these?
Yeah, these have people's names on them.
Dang it.
Yeah. So CJ Johnson, it is $225 for the BADMF. We also have to charge tax that's required now. I know it's a lot of money, but when you compare it to everything else that's out there, especially with this being 100% made in the USA, here locally, about 15 minutes down the road, and it's a USA job with mil-spec products. Everything is mil-spec. It is 100% Berry compliant as well. I'm going to let you guys in on something. Can you grab that bag that's on the left there?
Uh-oh.
Okay, so guys, this is a prototype. I'm actually showing you along the way.
Answer Hunter's question.
Okay, so we actually had a request from an alphabet agency to make one that had no Velcro, so that it was completely quiet, so that if you were doing reconnaissance or anything like that, you would not be giving away your location by ripping a big thing of Velcro. This could play into the Hunter as well.
Yeah.
The only thing I need you to keep in mind, guys, is that this is a prototype. It will not have 2 Cobra buckles. It will have 1 Cobra buckle. Now, this was a prototype that we took apart, And what you're hearing right now is some of the adhesive that was underneath, but there is no Velcro here whatsoever. So what you're going to have is a silent open and closing. Then what's going to happen is you have a buckle closure here. This will be a Duraflex, made in the USA, stealth buckle. It will not have a Cobra. The cost is just too high to do that. And then all you do is unlatch it, and you're going to have half a wing and half a wing. It'll still enable you to do everything else you need to do, but covertly. This one's going to be called the Quiet MF, or the Stealth MF, modular folder.
Or
So, guys, that will be coming.
we were coming up with names last night.
Yeah, so anyway, I wanted to give you guys, especially those that watch my channel, a sneak peek of, I am working on a backpack DW. I already have a really good, don't sell to alphabet agencies that trample on our rights. We're freezing service to them better. Okay, they're not all bad, all right? Just like we talked about. Now, if anybody tramples on my rights, you're absolutely right. I will not cater to them. But we can't just put them all in one group. You guys we also have a lot of sheriffs that are standing up for our rights, our Second Amendment rights, that are not
Still a lot of good
enforcing
people out there.
any of this stuff. So there are some still good people out there. I know it's hard to believe, but there still are good folks out there. All right, the way they unfold, if you thought about adding a bit more material, double as a shooting mat. Jeff, that would be a little too large, but yeah, we had thought about quite a bit. Yeah, sheriff's not an alphabet. Yeah, that's true. I get it, but I can't say who it was. It's just the way it is, two-way reference.
This is a YMCA.
YMCA, yeah, there you go. It was the YMCA. Also, I should have the prototype coming for the data card holder. That should be here anytime soon.
Yeah.
Really soon. And I'm going to ask another question. We're not going to get 150 people in here, and that's fine. We have 115. But I'm going to give away this hat here. I don't want you looking up on your keyboards or anything else, okay? I want to see if anyone knows this. All right, now I'm reading some of these. The Crouching Tiger, Hidden Bastard, BADMF. There you go. I like it. All right.
It's pretty good, actually.
Does anyone know, and we're ready, we're watching.
Hold on.
I don't want anybody using their computer to search this. I want you to use your brain.
Use your damn brain.
All right, does anyone know what a Maniki Nico is? Maniki Nico. Let's see what we have. Whoever it is will win the hashtag. He said that Bailey Elk Hound will win the hashtag Still a Dick. Don't look it up. Voodoo doll, no clue. Instrument. Cowboy's close. Oh, look at all it. Hot Japanese female, Diet Coke, Japanese singing trio. Nope, it's not a sword. Shibalseki. Okay, so cat is part of it. Okay, hold on. Shibalseki gets it. All right, so now isn't he in Korea?
I don't know.
Dang, this hat's going to cost me a lot of money. Okay, so even though it is not Korean, it is Japanese. The Maniki Nico is the fortune cat. It actually means invitation cat in Japanese. If you go to Japan, you're going to see pretty much at every single house, you're going to see the little cat that does this, okay? And,
Are you really?
I am really. Okay, like it or not, it's one of those things that, because somebody said, you know what, you're making all these USA-made products made in the USA, and you're going to name this data card holder a Maniki Nico, which is Japanese. You know what?
And you ain't even Japanese.
I'm Korean.
It's not Japanese.
I know. But, the thing is, I like the name of it, okay? Because that data arm looks just like the cat with the arm, okay? And we can move it up and down. I want to hear what you guys think. Because it says, it's mainly a Chinese fortune cat, but every Asian household has one. So with that being said, the other thing about the invitation cat is it is supposed to bring the owner good fortune. So if you're using that data card, and if you're one of those people,
you're going to win every match.
I'm not saying you're going to win every match. I'm just saying
every other match,
it's bringing you good fortune.
Maybe it'll help me.
Meow meow kitty. There it is. Does it come with a sweet and sour? Absolutely. Rick, that gun wall is looking so good. Yeah, thanks there, Todd. That's a good looking
if you squeeze
annealing machine that you're making there.
Silver.
Every store in New York City, Chinatown, Lighting District has one of those in the doorway. That's right. It's meant to bring good luck. So I think that's going to be the name of it. Sheball Sicky, you don't get to buy it, but you get it for free. So what I need you to do is email me, and it doesn't matter where you are. I'll make sure it gets to you. It might cost me a fortune, but email me at theexringchannel@gmail.com, and I will send you the hat.
Just hang a horseshoe above your door.
Yeah, Sheball Sicky is the one that came up with the answer. He said fortune cat, which is what that is.
Yeah.
Chinese fortune cat.
Yep, he won.
All right, so let's see. Did I miss anything else? MASH, congrats, Sheball. Yeah, so I wanted to be able to give back to you guys and show a little bit about this product. The website is xringcustoms.com with an S, xringcustoms.com. And I don't know, what else can we talk about? You know, I don't want to give the chat up just yet. We've been on here for 30 minutes. Maybe we can answer some questions. I will tell you that, thanks, Red, it'll be in Idaho or Michigan address. Awesome, I will get that to you. As far as Rick talking about long range and practicing for PRS, one of the biggest things that I think I can tell you, and I worked with Rick on this for a while when he was kind of learning it. We were both learning it together because remember, I wasn't a PRS shooter. I was a long range LEO mill sniper type shooter where we did a lot of these matches. And one of the biggest things with PRS is, guys, right before you start the stage, if you know that first target is out there, let's say 480 yards, you don't need to be looking down here. You don't need to be looking at the ground where your feet are. Go ahead and get in position, but right before it starts, you need to have your muzzle in the direction of that first target. You need to already have your dope in, unless you're going to hold. You need to have everything in for that first target so there's no fumbling or anything. You need to fixate on that target. I'm going to pretend this camera is my target. Once they give you the load and make ready, you're going to load, you make ready. As soon as they say go, you need to step up.
I got a YouTube
Keep
rifle.
your eye, yep, this is a YouTube rifle. This is my YouTube 2x4. And typically what I'm going to do is I'm going to line myself up perfectly for whatever it is, that barricade, that ladder, whatever it is. And I want to be fixated on that 400 and whatever yard target. So as soon as that buzzer goes off, I can just get it in position. I am on it. I am looking at it. I see so many guys looking down, and they'll take their rifle, they'll put it up, and then now they're looking through here, and they're just wasting valuable time trying to find that. Remember?
And their
power's up too high. Remember, almost every match I've ever shot, 10 to about 15 power max. Doesn't matter. It's an 80% 2x4. That's right. It is unfinished. So
I got some milling to do yet.
the other thing that I'm going to do on the Maniki Nico is I'm also going to offer it in 36 millimeters. So it will be a full kit that you will be able to attach to your scope. Whether you have a 36 millimeter, 35 millimeter, 34 millimeter, or 30, you will be able to utilize it on the scope tube itself.
I got you talked into that, huh?
36 millimeter is because of the ZCO. No, actually, I talked with the engineer today for a while. You had nothing to do with it. So
I don't know. He didn't want to do it.
I wasn't going to do it because I didn't know if we had enough clearance, and we do have enough clearance once we took the measurements. And you know, ZCO, the zero compromise, those are 36 millimeter tubes. You're going to start seeing larger and larger tubes, guys. There are actually companies out there with 37 millimeter tubes. So what that's going to give you is a lot more internal adjustment. I think you're going to see a lot of scope manufacturers moving along on that. 2 shows every night, one at 5, one at 7. Talking Rocks is ATF, CIA, FBI.
There's other ones.
There's
all
a few
sorts of
ones.
other ones.
Yeah, so this kit will come with everything, and it will also.
Joe's excited about the 36.
Yeah, IOR 40 millimeter tube. Yeah, I will not be doing a 40 millimeter. Isn't that outlawed? That's going to be a destructive device.
Good Lord.
I'm just going to offer those. That's all I can really do with the inserts. And it will give you a way to attach that data card to that space that is usually not available on these custom PRS rifles. It will also have an M-LOK style attachment so that you can attach it to any M-LOK as well. And it will have a push button release so that you can use it like a QD, take it off, put it on a different rifle. As long as you have a non-rotating or an indexing M-LOK, I'm really looking forward to that. I already have some pieces already being cut. Chips are already flying on that.
Will you be able to buy additional rings?
I am going to offer that. DW says you can make some bean bags too, Ray. We've already got some designs for making shooting bags. We've already contacted some of the best that the Marine Corps uses for their fill for the bags. because we want to use something that's going to be mildew and rot resistant, and because if it does get wet, we want to make sure that that's not a problem in the future. That stuff is very expensive. It's also very heavy, so we're working out shipping on that because that's got to come in on an 18-wheeler in order to buy it. So we have a lot of things coming. Also in the process now of developing a shooting bag for PRS as well as shotguns. So perfect case in point. You guys see this orange shotgun? You guys see the stoger that's over to the side of it? If you had a tape measure in here, can you measure what one of those are? What I'm planning on doing is I'm going to offer a shotgun bag that's a true zip up, not a scabbard type, because no one in 3-gun, no one really makes a bag that will fit that other than, let's say, Voodoo. But Voodoo Tactical, that's a double gun bag, and that thing gets crazy, crazy heavy. What I'm looking for is for something that will fit all of the 3-gun bags. It's probably 54 inches. 56 inches. And that was actually what it was going to be, 56 inches, so that it will fit your 3-gun shotguns. But it will also accommodate, let's say, a 54-inch. But it's going to be a slimmer profile because there's no optic on it. Then I'm also going to offer one that's taller that will accommodate a rifle just like this. Something that's got a 30-inch barrel. If you were to measure that from butt to muzzle, you're probably going to be at about 54, I would think.
Yeah, somewhere like that.
So this will accommodate that, but it will also accommodate the scope. It will also have the quick QDs on there. That I've got integrated into the bags.
51.
That one's 51 inches. Because if you guys shoot long range, you know there's no one that does bags like that.
This one's longer, but it's got a suppressor on it.
So that's what we're looking at doing. Let's see here. New math, okay. Are you still operating your school? Jeff Sharp, no, I'm not. Not right now. Right now, everything's still on hold with that. Yeah, Talking Rock, I don't like cats either. I'm not a cat person. I own a dog.
I have a video on
But the word I use is apropos, okay? That is apropos is the name for that. And, it's just like the BADMF. It was apropos being the name for that. Let's see here. The MC type cannot be shipped overseas. That is correct, Otter.
Yeah, the Multicam.
It cannot be shipped overseas. Ray, will you be shooting the Vortex Sniper Challenge at Coleman's Creek? Brandon, unfortunately, no. I shot that last year and came in 3rd place with Bryson under the Trooper Division, which you're going to be hiking about 30 miles or so. By the time I found out about it this year, immediately when it released, that pretty much filled up. A lot of the same friends that shot it last year are shooting it again this year. I just released the video of the Sky Bipod. I talked to Sky this afternoon at length, and he will be shooting in it. But I won't be making it, unfortunately. I also don't really have a partner to shoot that with, and I'm just in a different mindset right now because we have so many Rimfire matches that I'm going to make as well. Will you be shipping your products to Canada? Robert, I'm hoping I can ship them everywhere. We're hoping, as long as the buyer agrees to pay the shipping. I'm not opposed to sending some out to the UK or elsewhere, but they're just going to have to. They're going to have to be the ones paying the shipping for it. Multicam cannot. Multicam must stay stateside no matter what. Remember, we are using true mil spec, not something you buy off Amazon, but true mil spec for the military. Materials on this, and some of these have restrictions and regulations on not being shipped outside of the continental or outside of the United States. Yeah, Shaggy Rifleman. I do teach a long-range rifle class. I call it intermediate rifle because we only shoot out to 700 yards. It is set up for someone that is new or newer to long-range shooting. We've also had some seasoned shooters that said they learn a lot. It basically starts at 8 a.m., goes on until about 11 in the classroom. It is strictly classroom in the morning. We break for about 30 minutes. We're out at the range. We start at 100. We start working our way out. Everything from milling targets to using your reticle holdovers and positional shooting.
There's not too much that changes after you get farther out anyways.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wish we had access to some place that had longer distances. And I do have access to places with longer distances, but I don't have a classroom right there at it. And what I'm trying to do is mitigate any type of traveling from the range or from the classroom to the range itself. I mean, we can get to the range in 5 minutes, and it's a nice classroom. We can accommodate about 15 students, but I like to keep it somewhere around 12 or so. Yeah, Extreme Customs is the website for the products that we're going to be releasing here shortly. The only thing that's on, it's probably out of stock, guys. We just refilled it this afternoon, but those actually went out to guys that had the link to be able to purchase theirs. As far as the class itself, I will have to let you guys know. Just watch for the live feeds, if you will, on when I can resume. Because right now with all the COVID stuff, it's too much of an issue. I don't know if you guys heard, but my daughter actually got a after curfew ticket and was charged $1,000 for being on the road after 10 o'clock in North Carolina, which is ridiculous because she was coming back from work with her uniform on.
Yeah, in her uniform.
All right, 3 crowns, thank you. I appreciate it. And for all of those that actually got one of the bags, I would really appreciate it if you didn't mind leaving a review on my website on the xringcustoms.com. If you could go there and just comment on what you think. I mean, good, bad, indifferent. I'd like to hear it, or at least tell me about it here. You know, being upset about something is not going to help us. If there's something that you don't like, tell me. We're the ones that can change it. You know, this thing went through a lot of iterations before I was satisfied and Sam was satisfied with the quality that was there. If you guys don't know Sam, why don't you come back over here just so they can see you. So for those that have met Sam, you know him. I always say this every time he comes on. Sam was actually my sniper team leader back in the day, and we decided.
He's a little guy.
We decided we get a hair up our ass or hair up our butt and start making products by shooters for shooters. What you need, not what you have to settle for.
Exactly.
So, Sam, anything to say? Anything about the product itself?
No, I mean, you pretty much covered it all.
They're not gonna be able. Yeah, they'll be able to see you slightly.
Oh, okay.
You want to sit here, Sam?
No, I'm good.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All right, some other things for those that might have seen this for the first time. What you've got to understand is this will hold 120 rounds. So if I completely unfold this,
I got one in there if you want it.
all right, if you can hold that wing side over there, because I put it in backwards here so everybody can see this. So this is the back of it. It does have true active, this right here is laser cut moly. Everything's done laser cut. Even the stitching on this is mil-spec thread. So you can hold 120 rounds, but it also has some other hidden features. You can actually take a sniper data logbook, and the back of it will fit in here. This is also a water-resistant pouch. One of the things about this being a mil-spec material, it has to be coated with DWR. So you have a pouch here, and then you also have a full-size pouch in this panel here. You can open this up, and this is where your empties can go, your pins, anything else like that can go in that. So a lot of little hidden gems in there.
This one.
Server Sniper said, what you doing, Sam?
How you guys doing?
Yeah, exactly, Idaho Rogers. I do not agree with this whole curfew now. WTF is absolutely right. Other Tim Davis, I will not be doing hot pink. I can honestly tell you that. That is not going to happen unless it's something that is a fabric that is used by the military, either the Army or the Navy. I will not have access to it. All right, any plans for a high quality tactical sling? You know, I've been thinking about it, Polly. We've been working on some ideas, but remember, for those that hadn't seen, we also have a belt that we're coming out with. We're working on it as well. I'm just going to show you guys, for those that haven't seen it. It is one of these type belts, okay? It does have a Cobra buckle on the front, and you're like, oh, it looks like every other tactical belt, but no, it's not the case. It is adjustable on both sides. So you have Velcro on the front on both sides, but watch this. If I take this off, which you've never taken a tactical belt off that fast, if you look right here on the back, we're going to use a Spandura material, and this will actually give and stretch. Do you see that? And it's just going to be at the 6 o'clock position. So if you're carrying appendix, or if you're carrying 4 o'clock, when you bend over, this is enough to give with a little bit of stretch so that it's very comfortable. We'll be coming out with these. These will be less than $70, and it is not a rigid belt. It's the way we wanted to make it. So, no, Ramsey Country, you cannot order Multicam. This is one of one. They actually start production on the Multicam tomorrow. They've got to finish up all the Coyote first. Big shout out to you guys, because we ended up having to bump the initial order up quite a bit because of so many pre-orders, and I do want to thank you guys. I really do. All the money that we make from this is going to be going into making other products. That is what the goal is. This wasn't some type of get-rich scheme. It was literally to bring products out that aren't there. And if this can fund itself, then you guys are going to see more and new innovative products, because, you know, just getting the data card machine, something like that, and then also with patents and everything, it is not inexpensive by any means. All right, anything else that we missed? Tactical stretch. That's right. So Scribble, how many of us have eaten that big meal and you're like, man, I got to loosen my belt? You can do that with lifting one simple tab, but you don't have to because it does give a little bit.
That's right. I mean,
Yeah,
you
so
can eat more.
this, matter of fact, everybody's wearing one. Sam's got
I know,
one.
I know.
Rick doesn't have his on right now. But anyway, that's it. Also, some other cool things for the bag. There's somebody out here that's watching right now. They're actually using it in a commercial application. And what they're doing is they're putting tools inside of it. And they do a lot of tower work. And they didn't have a way to put a lot of those tools in a bag and carry it safely. And person actually climbed a 200-foot tower today and said it worked out wonderfully.
Nice.
Because everything is, like I said, it's tested, it's mil spec, it's got a heavy, it'll hold a ton. Ray, what pins were you using on the cards? 3 crowns. We will be offering these for sale as well on the website. We're going to offer everything from the data cards to the sector cards. We have a plastics company that's making one solid piece. We use the Statler permanent pins. Those are by far the best. You can also use the Vis-a-Vis wet erase. Don't ever use a dry erase. You're going to brush your card and you're going to lose your data. Don't do that. Yes, Tim Davis, we're going to be making some really large sizes as well. We do have some adjustability in this between different sizes, but a 32 is not going to fit a 40, okay, plain and simple. So we are also going to accommodate the larger sizes as well. It's a good belt. It works well. All right, anything else? I'm on board for the belt for sure. So I mentioned the name of the pins, Statler Permanent. They're made in Germany. Unfortunately, that's not made in the USA, but it is one of the best permanent marking pins that you can use an alcohol swab to erase. So we'll be selling those kits as well. This 1.5 inch belt or 2 inch belt. This is
Those are 1 3/4.
1 3/4, 1.75 inches. So it will fit in most of your belt loops. We didn't want it a 2 inch and we didn't want something that was too small. Design a pair of tactical farmer's overalls. Can't do that. Do you plan on making a pouch for a rangefinder like the Leicas, or didn't you just get the Sig Kilos, the 3000 BDX?
No, there.
Honestly, we have not even thought about that yet. Right now, we have so many irons in the fire. We're trying to get all these products going, and these guys have really been working their butts off. Ray, just an idea. Could put 2 QD mounts on each side of the belt and have it double as a sling. Yeah, I haven't thought about that.
We have made keepers.
We actually have made keepers for these that have the QD sockets in it, so that if you're wearing the belt, you could actually plug in a shooting bag, so that on the stage, if you needed it, you could reach down and just hit that QD and use it. So we've been trying to keep the brains working, that's for sure. Just have to build a larger fire. Ramsey Country, I mean, we're not burning this candle at both ends. We started in the middle and the ends, okay?
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
It's actually growing this way and this way.
Yeah,
So there's
yeah.
4 flames going right now.
Yeah, and it's been crazy busy at work and just trying to stay on top of things. Why can't you fatties just settle for Blackhawk? Why do you got to try to be like us twigs? Oh, jeez. But then what would you use as a belt? That's exactly right. If you use this as your sling, then your pants are going to fall off.
That's right.
What guns do you have in the back there? All right, so kind of starting up there, we've got this right here is a custom made by Desert Precision Gun Works. Kenneth E. does a great job with custom builds. It's a Curtis Axiom and 6mm Creedmoor with a truck axle for a barrel. It's got a Vortex Razor HD. You have a Voodoo
Custom hydro
V22 with a BA hybrid chassis, the Masterpiece arms with a Kukuri barrel profile. Kukuri. You have an X-Ring rifle and a 1022, and then that's the model, but it was Tactical Innovations,
Yeah.
Tactical Solutions.
Tactical solutions.
Tactical Solutions, the X-Ring model. Then you have a Ruger PRS, Rimfire, or RPR, and then you got a Tikka Tac 3, Tikka 1X, whatever you want to call it, with a Vortex Razor. This is a 3-gun rifle, some AR-10s. This is Rick's collection, and a bunch of Glocks. But we're not touching them. That would be
That would be
verboten.
very bad.
Verboten. Okay, so Scribble, ask, and I just had an email on this today, suggestions on an LPVO, low power variable optic. That is typically going to be like a 1-4, 1-6, 1-8, 1-10. Haven't used them before and want to try them without spending a fortune. Unfortunately, the things I'm going to recommend are going to probably be a fortune. On the low power variable optics, my personal favorite is the Vortex Gen 3 Razor 1 to 10. Yeah, I think
You
it
get a
gives
strike
you.
eagle for 1 to 8.
I think it gives you the best option for clarity for the reticle choice over the Night Force. I bought the NX8 and the 1 to 8 ATAC R Night Forces. Actually bought 4 of those and sold them about 2 months later. The reticle is too thick in the middle, covers a lot of the targeted distance, so I had to write Night Force off of that. You might want to look at some of the ones by Steiner as well. They do make some really good low power variable optics. Now, as far as price point, coming on down the line, if you're a Vortex person, they make a Strike Eagle 1 to 8. The glass is going to be a little cloudy on the top end when you get about the 7 to 8, but I've actually had a chance to use those. I've used those and they work. They work well. And for the money, you're going to get into it for 300-ish, or is it less?
For which one? Strike eagle?
Strike Eagle 1 to 8.
It was, I think, like $400, but it was with the mount even.
Gotcha.
$499.
Okay.
It was
I have
really
seen them in the low 3s.
good. Yeah.
Okay, so have a look at Delta 1.5 to 8, 24. Very good. Have one in my combination, Burno 12 gauge 222.
1 to 24, you said?
I've never heard of Delta.
I haven't either.
I haven't heard of that
Oh, 1 to
manufacturer.
5.
Yeah, 1.5 to 8.
Oh, okay.
Or
Gotcha.
1 to 5.8. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
I had the Gen 3 1 to 10 in my hand today, but didn't want to go 2K on something I'm not sure we'll end up using over my ACOG. While you can shoot an ACOG, and many people do, yep, $299, there it is, $300. Thanks for that. The ACOG works well, but on the longer targets, now if your BDC is calibrated, you can do well with an ACOG, but I have yet to see anyone do well in 3-gun with an ACOG. It has a different purpose. Low power variable optic is very, very popular in 3-gun for your up close and then also distance. But also, think about it, guys. It wasn't that long ago the Marine Corps was using a 10 power fixed optic. Now, it was, 10, 15 years ago when they were using those, but it's plenty enough to shoot long range with if you know what you're doing with it. You also have 10th mil adjustments on those. You can also get an MOA version. Vortex Strike Eagle. Where can I find primers at a decent price, small and large? You're not going to, Mario. It's not going to happen.
You travel back in time.
Yeah, get a Strike Eagle 1 to 6. I have had more experience on the 1 to 6s than the 1 to 8.
The 1 to 8's good.
Ramsey says, never heard of Delta. I have a Delta Striker 5Z. Never heard of them, Ramsey. Never used them. All right. Is Vortex Diamondback a good scope? You have a Diamondback.
It is a good scope. It's a good entry scope. Entry meaning getting into the game. I'd say the only downfall is the turrets go from 1 to 5 back to 0.
Yeah. All right, so suggestions on a suppressor for 338 Lapua Magnum. Michael Harris, I can speak authoritatively on this because the two that I've tested and used a lot, one specifically is the Thunder Beast, the 338. That is a great, great suppressor, but it's also not inexpensive. It's a very expensive suppressor, but it works very well. I also reviewed a 338 Lapua Magnum on an Accuracy International using a Surefire, and the Surefire, the SOCOM TI, is also a very good can. You can buy a silencer hybrid or something like that and shoot 338 Lapua Magnum, but if you're talking about a great suppressor for 338, I'm going to recommend those two. They do work very well. All right. What else? I know Rick likes to go live at 9 o'clock. This is probably the longest chat. Ray, how do you have your Trigger Tech Diamond 2-stage Steadily Voodoo? Do you think the 2-stage special might be a better option? JT Holds, I'm going to go ahead and share this with you guys. I am going to have a lot of products on my website that I believe in or that I endorse. I have just gotten set up, Sam and I both, as dealers for Trigger Tech. And I know it's not made in the USA, it's made in Canada, but remember, that's not one of the rules. It's got to be something that I believe in. Anything that I make, it's going to be made in the USA. So we will be a Trigger Tech dealer, and I am crazy about the 2-stage Trigger Tech. I like it better than the single stage, but I've always been a 2-stage trigger kind of guy. So for me, I like it. I've got it set at 1.5 pounds. I don't need it much lighter than that. I like about a 1.5 pound break. I know a lot of guys want it a lot lighter, but that's good enough for me.
Yeah, you might have missed the info on the Reb if you just got here, the Kestrel pouch.
Yeah,
Those are in?
yes, Reb, Tyree, we have tons of them in stock. You can actually go online right now, and if you want to place an order for the Kestrel pouch, which is Tegris backed and on the front, they are available on the site for $23.99. I hope shipping has been worked out on that. We are going to do flat rate shipping. I think it's going to be $9 anywhere in the U.S., in the continental U.S. So we tried to really be competitive with anybody else out there and offer more. Does the bag stand in an A-frame? I don't know what that means.
Does that bag like fold up into an A-frame?
You can make it stand in an A-frame. I actually have a picture of that going on, but I can't show you because it's on my phone right now. Running Trigger Tech and my Voodoos love them. You actually have a Trigger Tech in your Voodoo, but it is a single stage.
Correct.
And you're switching that out.
Well, and also in my, no, it isn't.
But that's a 2-stage.
I am switching it out
Yeah.
to a 2-stage, yeah.
All right, guys, so you can't wait for Microtech R2 K9 4 more months. San Miguel, it shouldn't take you that long. I mean, they've been turning around those in about 4 to 5 months, but hopefully. So are we ordering the pouch in BADMF online? I thought we emailed you and you let us know when you pay. Yes, AKA the devil. You will get an email. Okay, so all Coyote bags have shipped if that's all you ordered. If you ordered the Coyote bag and a Kestrel pouch,
You just got them today.
then you will get an email if you've not already gotten an email. If you get the email, go ahead and take care of the payment. We'll get it shipped out the very next day. If you ordered the Multicam, you have not gotten an email. If you just want a Kestrel pouch, you're not going to get an email. The only reason you should go to my website is to purchase a Kestrel pouch by itself and nothing else, because nothing else should be available out of there. Out of stock currently. Hopefully I'm not out of stock on those. I do have a lot more, but maybe I'll have to put those, bump those numbers up. Either way, guys, it's been a pleasure. We never got to 140, or not, got to 150. We got really close, but I did give away 2 hats. Make sure you email me, guys. Oh, let me see. So Sam was able to configure it to stand up in an A-frame just like this. You can get it to kind of stand on itself if you want to be able to read something or read your data book. You can do a lot with a lot more than you see, guys. You've just got to make it as modular as you want it to be. I do want to thank each and every one of you that joined in on the chat tonight. I don't do many live chats like this, especially hour-long. Big shout out to Rick at Is Your Six Covered for allowing me to have his Wi-Fi service in a beautiful, warm place to actually do this, because my basement gets a little cold sometimes.
Yep.
I think Rick is probably going to go live here in a few minutes. If you haven't checked him out, go over to Is Your Six Covered. Thank you, each and every one of you. I hope you have a great, happy New Year's. I hope you had a great Christmas, and we will talk to you soon.
Have a good night, everybody.
See ya.
Have a good night.